LaxFactor podcast. What is up, college lacrosse fans? This is the 58th episode of the LaxFactor podcast, and today we're going to do kind of a new series that we'll throw in every once in a while. It's going to be called Impossible to Replace, and the first guy I want to do, I've actually already done him. I've done a podcast about him because he was my midfielder of the year pick for 2019, but I want to talk about why Ryan Conrad, his 2019 lacrosse season was one of the most impactful of all time as a midfielder, why he is going to be impossible for the returning national champs, Virginia, to replace. Before I get into it, though, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Just start smashing that like button like crazy. Share the podcast with your friends. And if you want to support us beyond that, be sure to go to LaxFactor.com. You can get yourself some swag, hats, mugs, t-shirts, and comment down below to be entered in to win a pair of these shorts. We will be giving these shorts away in the next episode on Tuesday. So I get into this now here. Ryan Conrad, why I think that he's going to be impossible for Virginia to replace, and why I'm doing him first, more importantly, because there was other guys like Pat Spencer that we could talk about also. I am drinking beer here. I'm recording 2 podcasts today before the Giants game, so I decided to bring beer down with me today. It's actually, I'm so quick at this these days, and I just one take everything that I haven't even gotten a full beer down in the time I've been recording. Let's have another sip. I'm sure that was pleasant for everybody listening. So let's get into it. Career for Ryan Conrad, 61 goals, 35 assists, and 96 points. Not necessarily the career stats of one of the best to play the midfield position, but don't let that fool you, because what you see with him was a progression. You know, as he's playing for a blue blood program, and early in his career, Virginia struggled. 12 points as a freshman, 28 points as a sophomore. And his junior season, he was poised to have a breakout year. Everybody's talking about Ryan Conrad, and he tears. I don't know what he did. I think it was a torn ACL, but a season-ending injury 5 games into his junior season. So he only puts up 7 points in over the course of his junior season. Has a full year, he has to rehab, blah, blah, blah. Overall, though, 192 ground balls on his career as well, 95 of them coming a senior year, and 26 caused turnovers. So, like I said, the stats over his career, not ridiculous. But his senior year is what matters here for Conrad. Quote from Lars Tiffany before the season in 2019, "With much anticipation surrounding his return, this captain has cut no corners with his rehabilitation and preparation to once again play a pivotal role for our program in multiple areas, and holy shit, did he ever. 31 goals, 18 assists, and 49 points his senior season. 4 man-up goals, 1 man-down goal, 95 damn ground balls, 11 caused turnovers, 27 turnovers, which is a big deal because considering how much he touched the ball in all thirds of the field, 27 turnovers, especially as you're a transition guy, not that much. 33% as a shooter, a very efficient shooter, 58.5% on cage. He does this all his senior year after having a season-ending injury towards the beginning of the 2018 season. He plays everywhere. So that's the other. You talk about a lot of guys. A guy like Pat Spencer, even guys on his squad. You know, guys like Matt Moore and Dox Aitken a little bit more than the others. They do what they do really well, and they're all mostly offensive lacrosse players. Conrad's worth, it doesn't stop anywhere. He plays every third of the field and every third of the field at a high level. Plays man down. Even had a man down goal in 2019. He plays man up. He was third on UVA with 4 man-up goals. And this is an offensive team that has Ian Laviano, Moore, Kraus, Aitken. I mean, this is a really talented offensive squad. And Conrad is their 3rd leading scorer on man-up. Plays the wings on faceoffs, and that's where he inflates his ground ball numbers a little bit. But still, 95 ground balls is a lot, and the face-off play from Conrad was huge, especially in helping Petey Lasala come into his own. Petey freaking Lasala. He was on UVA's first midfield line alongside with Dox Aitken. He's on the field all the time. He's playing defense. He's playing offense. He's playing special teams, and in every facet, it's not like one of those guys like a Dearth for Syracuse or something like that, where you could say everything he does well, or he does above average. Everything he does well above average, and some of the things that he does, he's just off the charts good. He's a next level finisher. Has a cannon. He can put smoke and he can play shots. past goalies. The guy can finish. He can dodge from anywhere. He can dodge up top down the alley. He can sweep out top. He can dodge from X. He proved in Syracuse, I think it was, where he had a huge dodge from up from behind to score a goal. The guy can do it all over the field, no matter where, even from an offensive perspective. More than capable at creating for others. He has 18 helpers on the year thanks to his ability to keep his head up so he can create for others on top of scoring goals for himself. He's not the best feeder, but as with everything else, he is above average. It's all about being above average at everything you do and providing your team with utility in every facet of the game. He can be heroic, not UVA's top offensive option. Guys in front of him, Moore, Krause, Aitken. I'd say he was a higher option than Laviano because he carried the ball. You could make the argument Laviano was their fourth option, but I'd say Conrad was actually their fourth offensive option because he carried. Scored the game-tying goal with 4:01 left versus Princeton, unassisted. The result, UVA wins in overtime. Scored a huge unassisted goal to get UVA to within 1 goal of Syracuse with 5:36 left in the fourth. The result, UVA won in overtime. Contributed 2 assists versus Brown. The first to help UVA get to within 3 goals. The second, a feed to Krause, tied it up with 3:21 left in the fourth. The result, UVA wins in overtime. Maryland scored 3 fourth quarter goals, 2 of them man up. Even better, those goals made it 12-8, 12-9, and 12-11. Put his team on his back, and a bad call, and Matt Moore put it away from there. Result, UVA in overtime. Now, if we jump into so even at the highest level, where you need a guy to step up, you usually want your seniors to do that. UVA doesn't necessarily need seniors to do it. That's why UVA wins the national championship last year. Not only did they have young guns, not young guns because, Krause and company, they're not necessarily young, but they had guys that were younger than their senior class anyway. Any one of those guys would step up for them when they needed to, but you have a senior with the leadership that Conrad provides with what he did to battle back from that injury. To have a leader like that on your team, that's the type of team that wins a national championship, and they did. Pure stats to go on through the playoffs. First round, Robert Morris, 5 goals, a man-up goal, 7 ground balls. Second round against Maryland, 4 goals and an assist, 2 man-up goals, 1 man-down goal, and 4 ground balls. Third round against Duke, 2 goals. This is the semifinals, I say. Semifinals in the tournament. Memorial Day weekend. 2 goals, 5 ground balls, and fourth round against Yale, 1 goal, 7 ground balls, and 3 caused turnovers. If he's not scoring 2 or 3 goals, he's getting you a caused turnover or 2 and picking up a handful of ground balls. You need a guy like that, a guy that can let the game come to him, a guy that will just do whatever he can everywhere. And it's not a matter of doing whatever he can. He can do everything, and he does everything to try to help his team win. So as a senior, 31-18, 49 points. 4 man-up goals, 1 man-down goal, 3 of those goals in the playoffs against Maryland. 95 ground balls. On average, his average game, a goal and a half, an assist, 4.75 ground balls, and a half a caused turnover. And the big thing with Conrad, though, is those damn ground balls. Sure, he can, put 3 points per game up overall. He's the team's 4th scoring option. But to replace almost 5 ground balls a game, 95 ground balls, and especially they didn't just come on at the face-off X. They came on the defensive end of the field, offensive end of the field, hustle ground balls to keep plays alive. Face-offs, they came all over the place. To replace that is going to be really tough. Now, in fairness to UVA, they're built to get past this kind of thing. They will try, and they will probably succeed in replacing him. P.D. LaSala started coming into his own as a faceoff guy. He is a capable goal-scoring faceoff man, so that helps, and he started pinching, popping, scoring more towards the end of the season. That's going to help. UVA has a wealth of offensive talent. Aitken, Moore, Krause, Laviano, they'll simply put up more points. All 4 of those guys are going to put 3 to 5 more points up, or more, but all of them, they'll be able to eat that scoring even if other guys aren't able to step up. And then the special teams is going to be where it's harder to replace him. But Tiffany, he's as good as any at convincing guys to buy in and, next man up, and we're going to keep rocking this. So I like UVA's chances of doing it. But, while losing Conrad is going to hurt them badly, they're going to be among still my 3 to 5 favorites to win it all next year. But it's just going to be a hell of a lot harder to do so without Ryan Conrad. So that is this podcast. This is a short one. But I wanted to shoot 2 in one day, sip on some beers. Let's say cheers to that. Hey, I finished that one. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want to support us beyond that, go to LaxFactor.com. You can get yourself some swag, hats, mugs, t-shirts, shorts, whatever. Be sure to comment down below. You'll get entered to win this pair of dope Rampage lacrosse shorts, peacock pattern. And as always, thank you for watching. Hoost is out.